Well, hello everybody. It's me again. Here comes another puzzle. Again, white to move and win this in two moves. And when I saw this first, I quickly realized this must be some sort of suang, and it is. But even though when we know that, it's still very, very hard to find out how white wins this. Okay, so the pawn here is going down. Means if we move our queen, black can play h1 and promote with a check. And that is, of course, vital information for us to know in order to solve this. Well, I'm not going to tell you more than that. So pause the video now, see if you can find out the winning variation for white in only two moves. Go ahead. And welcome back. Okay, so we're talking about moving the queen and allowing black to promote. Let's start looking at that. So obviously, if we do some random move like this, he will just promote with a check, and of course, there's no checkmate. Fair enough. But what if we move with a check, like queen g2 check? Well, the problem is that our rook is hanging here on b1. And wherever we go with the queen, if we go with a check, he will just take our rook on b1. And if we go somewhere else with the queen without a check, he will promote, and we don't have a checkmate either. So the queen has to stay. Okay, if we're talking about the suang, what about just a simple king move like this? And see what happens. Well, problem is, one, he can take this rook, and we don't have any checkmate. And he can also take our rook here on b1. Again, this is unguarded, so we have to do something about it. And so the same goes if we move our bishop somewhere. It's just easy for black to take on b1, and we don't come anywhere. So we don't need to look at it. Bishop moves either. So either one of the rooks has to move. Let's look at this one first. Still, if we do some just random move here, well, again, it takes on b1. So we have to address that. Here's a smart move. Rook a3 check. Now, if black takes on b1, then we actually have a checkmate with queen e4, like this. Everything is covered, and that's a checkmate. So that might be something. Because if black simply takes it with a king, well, then we'll also have a checkmate in the next move. Queen a8. So is this the solution? No, it's not. Because black can still take it with his bishop. And there is no checkmate. If we try something like this, it looks good, everything is covered. But again, the rook on b1 is unguarded, so he can simply take it. So rook to a3 is not a solution. What if we don't go all the way? We leave it at b3. Now, if the bishop moves somewhere, if it takes a check here on b2, well, we simply take it with a checkmate. The queen covers here. Looks good. And same happens if the bishop moves somewhere along this diagonal. Still, it's going to be a checkmate with the rook b2. And the king cannot move, and the pawn cannot move. But again, the bishop can be played to a3, which still covers b2, and it's not in the way, and we don't have a checkmate there either. Okay, so then we rule all the moves out from this rook. Let's go with the piece that we have to move then. What if we simply give a check here on b2? Obviously, he cannot take the bishop, then it's checkmate. But pretty clear, he can simply take our rook with his bishop, give a check, and we don't have any checkmate. So let's move it one more step to b3. Are we threatening anything? Well, not really, but we are supposed to put him in a suang. But he can just take our bishop here on a1. And again, there is no checkmate in the next move. It's going to take one more move. So, okay, what happens if we go one more step? Now, this is interesting because if the king takes the bishop on a1, then we have this beautiful checkmate, rook a3. You see, the bishop cannot take it because it's pinned, like this. So, rook b4 is the thing we're looking at now. Still, if the bishop comes here, we just take it with a checkmate. And now he cannot save himself by playing the bishop to a3, because then we have the checkmate here on b1 with the queen. So, is this the winning move? No, it's not. He can simply take our rook on e3, and this is not a checkmate because the king will come to a3, and queen a8 is not a checkmate because the bishop has one move, and that's to block the check, which gives us checkmate in 3 moves. So, okay, finally, we have to move the rook somewhere along the B file. We cannot allow black to take on e3 and then block the checkmate on a7. So, there's only one solution left now. The rook has to go to b6. This is the key move. This is how we win this in 2 moves. If it takes here, then we have a checkmate on a8. If the bishop just moves to d2, well, there's a checkmate here with queen b1. Again, if it takes our bishop, then we play rook a3, beautiful checkmate like this. If the bishop goes to b2 with a check, we simply take it with our rook here, and it's a checkmate. And finally, if the bishop comes to a3, again, queen b1, checkmate. Finally, we found it. The rook has to go to b6 in order to win this in 2 moves. Quite hard, I think, for being a 2-mover, but I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you managed to solve it also. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.